Mm. Do I need to relearn coding to do that? Mm, a little bit, because it's its own language called ThinkScript. And um, I probably hate coding as much as you do. But I approach um, accomplishing things as figuring out how to accomplish them and then accomplishing them. Maybe I don't know if you're the same way, but so if I need to get something done, I'll learn how to get it done and I get it done. Uh, so on the one hand, yeah, it sucks that, maybe if you wanted to do something, anything like that, you'd have to learn a little bit of coding. But well, first of all, a lot of things I'll be able to share. I should be able to, possibly I can share that. Not that I'm saying I would want to or not. It's just that I'm not even sure because there are some inherent sort of inner code bits and stuff that might not be shareable. So I can possibly, I'm not sure if it's capable of sharing that, but maybe I could share that. But it's not too difficult, really. Um, when you start to understand the concepts, the main thing you have to do is you have to have a um, idea of what you want to do. Like you can't just say, "Oh, that's cool. I want that." It's like in order to get inspired and motivated to accomplish something difficult, you need more than that. You need to want a certain logic in your system, you know? Like like I need that, I need that kind of information in front of me. And so then you start to go, okay, how can I accomplish that? And you start to logically put it together and you're like, okay, well that might be able to do it. Let me see if I can actually code that. And then you go and try and code it. And when it works, it's great. That's great when it comes out working. A lot of the stuff that we have here are some of them are like just phenomenal coding accomplishments. Not that the coding was even difficult or um, was advanced. It's that the logic, the idea of squishing these concepts together into a list and getting that list, and then what that list represents, those things are really helpful and interesting. So like these lists here, well, like this one, the Holy Grail, this list over here, it'll show us, I think it's a top 50 or top 40. It'll show us all the stocks that have made more than just like the Holy Grails, that have made more than a 20% move. I'm sorry, more than 100% move in a period of less than a month. Uh, Anytime in the last, I believe I have it set to 6 months. So that move itself could have been any time in the last 6 months. That coding is interesting because you can't just say right now. Right now, it's more than 100% up from where it was at less than or equal to a month ago. That's not good enough because that would only show you right now what just made that move. What I want to know is any stocks that have made that move in a period of the last 6 months. So it scrubs all tickers for every day, for every width of move, anything less than or equal to a month. That's a lot of computation. And then on top of that, it must not have retraced more than 40% on that move when that move happened. Again, anytime in that last 6 months. And now it could be failed out and everything. It could be back to where prices used to be. But it should still show up on the Holy Grail list here as something that was flagged as a Holy Grail in the last 6 months. And it's just up to me. I prefer it that way. And it's just up to me to pull up the charts and see if any of those line up with anything interesting trade wise. I don't want a computer figuring out for me out of the universe of stocks, not this, yes, that, not this, yes, that, all the way down to the when I have no picks every day because it didn't exactly match something. I'd rather get a nice, good, potpourri of 50 stocks to 500 stocks that I can flip through and manually, as a human, decide whether or not it's good or not. So anyway, that's the beauty, when you can get the clever stuff, clever logic coded. That's a lot of fun. It's just a lot. It's just so rewarding, so rewarding, and I feel so rewarded on that one. And I've got it um, showing also the green or redness of its change from the open. So because on a very bad red market day, even stocks that go down not as strongly as the market, but are going down, could be at peak relative strength to the market. So they would show up as red from the open going down. And yet they would be at the top of a relative strength list because they're not going down quite as strongly as the rest of the market's going down. Therefore, they have relative strength. So anyway, there's a lot of interesting things that can come out of having that now. And I love that we got that. This brings up the considerable number of benefits from learning AI use. Yeah, and I'm just not that in that place anymore, I would say, where I'm going to throw aside everything that I do have set up and that I'm doing, and I'm going to start dedicating all my time to using AI to spot patterns or setups or entries on the market and get that all coded and refined and working. I have enough experience with creating systems and programming systems in a lot of different areas, not just in stocks, but in business and in music and in various realms that I know that, oh, as a matter of fact, in poker, I created poker bots, that I know that your dream of what you want, uh, your vision of what you want to achieve, it's seems easy when you envision it. Like the goal, it's like there it is. And I know from here, 0 to 100% will be a journey. Now I know I have experience in doing that at least 4 times, creating massive, dedicating life and blood, sweat and tears to massive um, um, intelligent digital systems like that, that there's an immense amount of devil in the details that creep up throughout the entire process, and that sometimes you can't get the computers to even filter out things that you could filter out as a human, just because they start to become impossibilities in the filtering process because there's no known way to quantitatively filter for them. Now, AI probably is a way to solve for that, but it will also have the same issues. It's just sort of process. And so I know that if I did that, I'd have to dedicate all my time, and it probably would take at least a year and a half. And I'd probably have to put together a team. And when we get there, it'll probably be only 70% of the vision of what I wanted to accomplish. And its value is questionable about, whether or not that year and a half would actually get you over a point where you could be producing, you know, uh, results that were stellar and worthwhile. Um, but that said, there's another company that I'm sponsoring that sponsored me and or whatnot, and I sponsor them that I'm in a partnership with, called Option Alpha, and I'm still working on. Now that I moved into a new place, I'm still working on starting to ramp up my involvement over there. But that's a place where you can code options, portfolio level systems, strategies to the level of systems and portfolio level, um, incredibly granularly And so I am going to start writing our system up as a, you know, a bot, an algorithm, a system, an auto trading thing, and obviously connect it to a paper trading account at first and then see where all the devils and the details are and all the little gremlins and something. I got to start pulling wires and correct for this and correct for that. And, I am going to be working on something like that. And if I get it working nicely, because it's not that difficult, our system, Randy, like it's right. I mean, I would probably have to say the most difficult part is simply selecting opportunities. I think the rest, the auto manage part of it, is a lot easier. And perhaps I have to check, but perhaps option alpha, perhaps it can be programmed to just manage what we enter. Like it could just manage it. That would be interesting. That'd be fine. Anyway, if we can get that going, that'd be outstanding. I don't know who wouldn't want to be a part of that once if I got that turned on. If I can get the keys to turn on something like that and you just put money and turn a key and then it just automates. Wow. You know, again, that's a dream, but we'll see if it happens this year. I'll be working on that all year over at Option Alpha, and there are some discounts and group rates and stuff that will be going along with if you guys ever want to use Option Alpha. So wait for that. Be waiting for that. I'll announce it, soon enough, probably 2 or 3 months from now. I'm working on my taxes now. Taxes, man. All right, so the market had a negative reaction to, and there was a dark pool print, which presumed there would be a positive reaction. That's interesting, but it turned out to be a negative reaction to some data at 8:30 that was released. However, we're going to have at 10 a.m., so 30 minutes after the market opens, we're going to have consumer sentiment numbers reported. It's always interesting they report that 30 minutes after the market open on Fridays. So interesting how they time all this shit to be a manipulation. Um, and so this whole negative reaction could be a ruse in front of what could be a positive reaction at 10 a.m. Or my concern is that the 10 a.m. coin flip is tails and that we go down even worse than how we're dropping right now, which again, I mentioned before, we're about 2/3 of the way retraced to obliterating the progress we made yesterday. Two-thirds. That's pretty significant. So if consumer sentiment isn't a surprise beat and super happy, um, I'm a little concerned about this pre-market drop right now. I wouldn't want that's the coin flip of tails, right? So we don't want two coin flips of tails in a row. But I mean, we've been kind of lucky. I mean, CPI was coin flipped tails, and then we flipped the coin on Fed, and it landed on its side. It's like boop, totally neutral. And then PPI came out and coin flipping was heads, and so we're sitting in a nice place. Check this out. Let me show you the QQQ analysis here. Very interesting. But by the way, we don't want a coin flip of tails to happen today in that sense. But look at the moving average, the 50 moving average here coming up. And try to ignore this white line, okay? And the 20 and the 10. They're all converging at this point. And interestingly enough, all price action is getting supported and trapped in their ranges. That's good. What would not be good is a breakdown, say a close and breakdown. We did have that just about damn near of the 50, below the 50. If we were to break that Thursday of last week's red panic candles low in the next few days, which could happen, then that's lots of lower highs and lower lows and breaking down, and we're pulling back. And yet, if you just look at the giant swath of an arc we've made of progress since November in the economy and the markets, we've got room. We've got room for a 50% pullback all the way to the 200 moving average. I mean, so, that's not going to be something that happens in one day. But, we could be working our way through things and weakening and just trading around until finally we meet up with the 200 moving average, and somewhere in there it tries testing it, and then it comes back. It may even break down that, creating some great dip buy opportunities for entry. It comes back over and then back test bounce off the 200, and then the election happens and then we're flying. So the rest of this year could very well be choppy and pull back action, and it wouldn't change really anything. We trade the markets. The markets don't. I mean, well, the markets trade us. We don't really trade the markets. The markets trade us. So, whatever the market does, we've got to be smart about, surfing that wave, or uh, keeping the surfboard in the Jeep that day. How'd you like that? All right, we've got 7 minutes till the market opens. I don't see any biggish caps up a lot. We've got a $600 million HKD. HKD. Was that the wild and crazy stock from a while back? HKD. Let's see. Uh, yes, it was. This stock went to 2,600. I think I remember calling that to a freaking T. That was a fun stock to trade. And it is now 292 and jumped up to 388. I could care less. And then we've got Lyell, Lyel, and it is up 10% this morning. But just like we were looking at stocks charts yesterday, look at that chart. We're not interested. It's just, we need verifiable bullishness in order to put our money in something. Something I didn't mention last night, but a way to put it is, with spreads this one way, and even with shares, this can kind of make sense. But if we make money in spreads, if the stock goes sideways or up and even slightly down, then we need stocks that look like they're going up. So in case we're wrong, they just go sideways. Okay? If you pick stocks that are going sideways, then if you're wrong, they could go down. Right? So we need stocks that are going up. And with the credit spread situation, that's merely so that in case we're wrong, we're still right, because instead of going up, now it goes sideways. So up and sideways and up and sideways, we want to see a lot of that. I don't know what were some good charts that do that, but Alpha always comes to mind. But there are probably others. But yeah, this is what we generally want to see. We don't want Lyell. We don't want stocks like that. You don't want to be the guy going, oh man, this is probably going to break out. It's going to go from 350 to, 5 maybe, and that's just high speculation. Carl knows how to mess around with that. But there's as much heartache, there's as much risk as there is reward. I'll tell you that. And maybe Carl will too. All right. Well, anyway, we've got 4 minutes until the market opens, which is great. And we've got lots of lists to tell us if there's any opportunities today. I'll probably lay off until end of day of any decisions, just because we're moving down right now. We got the 10 a.m. consumer sentiment report coming out at the top of the hour, and I just need to see how all that susses out. And so I'm probably going to be leaving all decisions to end of day. And will that hurt a little bit? Probably. I mean, if things stay down and if they get worse, yeah, it's going to be a gut punch. But there's really no other way to play it, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes you got to take a gut punch, and today could be a gut punch day. After yesterday, you might end up giving back as much as you Good luck, please. What is GL? Oh, I thought you meant good luck. Globe Life. Yeah, that's just a dead cat bounce penny stock. Oh, well, it acts like a penny stock anyway. I don't know. It looks like a merger is off. It was flat for a long time, and then looks like maybe a merger or an acquisition. The news is now that that's off. That possibly, I don't know what is the news. Worst case scenario, S&P, Globe Life, mostly lower. Advanced Mike AMD. Globe Life rises after denying short seller allegations. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. Keep an eye on the cues. You trade that, Carl. If you got something you're trying to say about that, say it so that we all uh, learn what the heck you're trying to say a lot faster than me trying to figure it out. All right. Yeah, so yesterday's close, I mean, day prior's close is right here at 438. We don't want to drop below 438 today, but we probably will. We probably test it. Ben saying GL also. Hilarious. What about it? Your bad accident? What's going on? Yeah, I saw it. Oh, you were? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Your bad accident. Gotcha. Your bad accident. I'm like, did you get in it? You lost a ton of money? All right, minute 10 seconds. That red line. Okay. Carissa, welcome in. Excuse me. You got the yawning me. It's a Friday. War news? Oh, Schmo says the news might be because of war. War news. I don't know. Maybe that's true. There's a bunch of bullshit, when that happens. Hey, the market's going to do what the market's going to do, though. So you got to trade out. Don't sit around going like, that's just a bunch of bullshit. And then you're losing money. Trade. Do what you're supposed to do. If the market wants to panic drop and crash, you better hedge up. That means grab some puts, QQQ puts or something. All right, let's see what the market's going to do. Market opens in 20 seconds. Carissa, if you can get in a little bit earlier every morning, you'll get the full market sort of overview. We've been in here for 30 minutes now talking about what to expect this morning. So we talk about different opportunities and things to think about this day on the market. Okay, market is open. Let's see what goes on here. I'm interested in watching all my lists update, all my scan lists, see how these meters start looking and what the strongest stocks of the day are. All right, so far it's looking very 50-50-ish off the open. Like we're just gonna hang out here for the moment. Remember, we got consumer sentiment at 10 a.m., top of the hour. Prices went down a lot in pre-market. Lower prices have been bought up. It's bull market, and end of day buying up means, well, that's a green flag in a bull market. But we might need another red day to get down to the 50 moving average in order to attract more buyers at the moment. That's just sometimes the market breathes like that, moves around like that. But at 10 a.m., the consumer sentiment update could change things if it's, a positive, upbeat report. If it's a negative report, it's going to add fuel to the fire. Okay, now let's take a look. We are a minute and a half off of the open. And what I'm seeing is that from the bigger stocks, we're neutral. We're neutral off the open. Actually, a little bit bullish now off of the open. But mids and smalls, little more pain in mids and smalls, but bigger stocks are moving up off of their open green. Yeah, the strongest stock is GL. That's funny. You guys are all talking about that. Let's see. So you guys are presuming that it's going to go up. Yeah, I think there's just way too much presumption there to be able to make that presumption. Another strong stock this morning off of the open is NEM, N-E-M, Newmont Corporation. It's having one of the strongest opens so far in 2 minutes and 30 seconds of trading. We can know that. Citigroup also doing quite well off of the open, right? It's up, it's broken trend line. So that's an entry. I have a trend line alert on Citigroup to let me know when it's up and over this trend line resistance that it was at. And apparently on earnings, it has done so. Do I get in now on a put credit spread? Let me take a look at the pricings. It's possible that the volatility, implied volatility has been sucked out to the point where I can't get an ROC, a return on capital that's greater than the delta probability of the trade working in our favor. So I'm going to look at that now. Going over to the 22 delta there, which is 57.5, which is this level right here. Yeah, I would be okay with that. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. And buying back the 55. That gets us $41 out of 259, which is, see, 15.8%. No, wait, hold on. That's incorrect. 159, 25.7%. Okay, good. All right, so maybe I'll take that, but I might make it a $5 wide spread myself, and let me see what I get out of that. 57.5 to 52.5 would get me 60 out of 440 or 13.6. That's no good. And what's the liquidity? All right, the liquidity is good. And so the final question though becomes, do I take it? Do I go ahead and allocate that? I think so. 42, let me get the numbers correct. 42 out of 208. 42 divided by 208 is 20.1%. And that's for a 22 delta. So no. So see, isn't that great? I love that about the system. That if the ROC is not above the delta, and in a decent click, like if you want to get 25 ROC out of a 20 delta, then you don't take the trade. It's no good. So it's not paying enough to give you odds. So no go on City Bank, but yeah, it's doing good. Mobileye, MBLY, what are they called? Let's see. Mobileye Global Inc. They are moving strong, but they're not in a nice bullish formation, so we'll skip that. But that's one of the ones on our growth stock list that looks good. AMR also not in formation. AUR, it's not quite in that bullish formation. See, what I'm looking at is like what I taught in class last night is, how bullish and verified bullish are we right now? Did that change any of you? Like that last night when you took that class, and I talked about that a lot. Does that now get you to the point where now you look at a chart and you think, oh man, it's got a lot of runway. I would, potentially get into that, but since it's actually not in great bullish formation, you say to yourself, no, just no thanks. That would be great if I got some of you. Yeah, that's great. Okay, good. Randy, excellent. NXC. See, look at this one. NXC looks great. Just keeps going up and up and up and up and up in general. Good for a PCS. Not right now because it's got ER right now. And not enough runway to gestate the trade, to gestate the swing trade. Rig, nay, CCJ. This is something interesting breaking out right now. Cameco Corporation. Not enough runway until this next ER in order for us to go PCS on it. But it could be a shares trade, but you'll be getting out extended at breakout, you know, in a market that's somewhat toppy, sideways, sketchy, pulling back sometimes. And I don't think this is a good time to go shares on anything. I certainly want to see this 10 a.m. consumer sentiment reaction. I don't know if I'm going to be here that whole time, by the way. I'm probably going to call the morning stream in just a couple of minutes here. I'm just looking to see if there's any interesting opportunities first. GLFCX. Freeport McMoran, right? Copper mining company, as far as I remember. On a very nice run. Now that's bullish and making that nice 4-point strong bullish move. We would definitely love to allocate capital to FCX. However, we do have that earnings coming right up pretty soon, so let's wait till after that happens. Oxy, that's energy company. See, its formation is not verifiably strong bullish with those like we showed in class last night. No good there. PGR, I think that's progressive. Yeah, progressive. Look at that. Woo! When you can get a chance to get in that, that's good, but not necessarily for shares swing trade because the ADR percent is 1.63%. It's kind of low return on your money. But for a PCS, it could provide. So we'll see after earnings, though. Earnings is in 3 days. No good there. Allstate, is probably similar. All the insurance companies are doing really well right now. APA, no good. EQT. These are stocks responding the most strongly with the strongest relative strength on the market today. FSLR. What I'm looking for is anything that also looks great, is in a great bullish formation. And even then, I probably will not get in. I almost got into Citigroup mainly because this is banks earnings week, and it kind of get separated out from the market and have its own charisma, if you will. But again, when we went into it, the options say don't do it. Was not giving us odds. DVN, another energy stock company, flying over the 200 moving average and just not stopping. It is only a 1.68% ADR, and so that total move so far from bottom to top has been only 35%, which is fine. That's great. It beats the market in 66 days. But we need this ER to happen. We need it to rest a little bit, and then perhaps we get in if it even matches any of our strategies and any of our trades. FANG, another energy stock. MRO, another energy stock. Energy stocks are just having a great day today. Energy's doing well. Oil is on the rise. It's at 87.50. Really? Man, I haven't looked at oil for about a month. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, oil is really coming up. Looks like it's going to pop $95 a barrel. In late May. How is that going to be good for the Biden administration? I don't know, but okay. Let's see if there's anything else. EOG, that's another energy company. FANG's another energy company. PGR COP, that is an energy company. LHX, what's that? L3Harris Technologies. In any event, it's not got a great bullish formation, so we'll stay away. NRG, that's an energy company. It's another one moving up. What'd you say, Randy? More of them looking like crapshoots. Man, I'm so glad you can see that, Randy. That's great. I think, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but like when you first joined the group, the beginning of the year, I think it was, or many months ago, I think you admitted to saying that you weren't a very good chart reader, right? Wasn't that you? I think so. For you to be able to see this stuff now and make those kinds of judgments, if I'm correct. Boy, that's incredible progress. You've done so well. Are you an artist? You must have, a great understanding of aesthetics, because I think that helps when it comes to charting. It helps you understand them a little bit faster. Al, ExoM, Affleck, it's all insurance and energy right now. Those are all up. HIG, what's that? HIG, Hartford Financial Services. Oof, love that chart. Only a 1.3% ADR. But if that could provide a PCS type bake swing trade after ER coming up here, I would definitely allocate on that. Not today. HII, Huntington Ingalls Industries. What do they do? Aerospace and defense. That's a pretty nice run it's been on. I like it. I would call that bullish. This last drop, just a couple of days ago, it has me concerned a little bit. I'd be careful of that. And ER is coming right up. ER season is putting us in a place of where really can't really be allocating right now. Aflac, HII, GD, is that Goodyear Tire or something? General Dynamics, correct. GD has been on an amazing run, but it's only 1% ADR. We're talking about a really slow, almost value stock. Seems to be on some kind of a growth cycle though. Over the last, maybe it's the whole robotics division mixed with AI. But their revs are starting to grow and they're increasing their margins slightly. And so their bottom lines are growing. So that's what's fueling this move. But again, it's a very slow stock. Could be something you put into a, retirement portfolio for a forever hold. General Dynamics. Looks like prospects are good right now on it. OKE. Not quite 1.3% ADR also. CVX, Chevron Energy, and actually lagging some of the other energy companies. So the other ones look a little stronger. Apple's strong today. Yeah, making continuation on its move yesterday, which was very strong. What the heck is going on over at Apple? Anybody following that at all? I haven't looked. Randy, you said we never even looked at charts back in the mid 80s as brokers. Yeah, we just did as we were told. Wow, crazy. So no, I had no knowledge to speak of. Well, that's outstanding. You've made incredible progress. Now, what's the deal over here on Apple? Just minutes ago, Apple loses appeal to dismiss their lawsuit over App Store fees. Okay. Best installed base in the world for its AI future. Cuts price target. Goldman Sachs cuts it to 226 from 332. Okay, price target cuts. What happened yesterday is what I'd like to know. The Qs hit all-time high yesterday? Is that true? Let me double check. I didn't even notice that. It did not. What is it talking about? It did NASDAQ hit all-time high yesterday. That's inaccurate. Okay. Apple in AI arms race looks to revamp lagging Mac sales. Okay, so they're actually gonna do something with AI. Eyes higher profitability, premium mix and in-house technologies drive margin boost. Maybe somebody else has typed so far. No. Okay. Long-term gross margin potential. Apple to overhaul Mac line with new processors. That's probably it. That's probably the news with AI-focused M4 chips. Okay, that's what it is. So now Apple's an AI stock all of a sudden. That's what's going on. So Apple's gonna take on the shape and growth trajectory and return path in part of AI industry, the AI theme. So yesterday's move is probably just the beginning. Yesterday's move was pretty big. What was it? It was top to bottom, 4.34%, which is a lot for Apple because it usually only moves 1.7%. So 4.34 divided by 1.7. That was a 155% stronger move yesterday than typical. So that's a big deal. So Apple kicking off an AI announcement with their upcoming AI M4 chip. That was yesterday. It moved over Gamma line here, and this may very well be an entry. And we do have runway, by the way, if you wanted to get a PCS on it. We got 20 days. We want 24, but 20 days before ER, you might have just enough runway uh, to eke out some gains. Alrighty, you guys, the market is the market. Actually, the market looks like it's doing okay. It's coming up a little bit. But I am seeing here about a dead even, green off the open versus red off the open when it comes to growth on the market. And in the mids and the smallers, I'm actually seeing it a little bit worse. But the leading growth stocks are holding up, slightly doji. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. Maybe we're going to have a low volume end of the week day today, which means a little bit more choppy and less directional. The 10 a.m. consumer sentiment report could change all that. So we'll be talking about that in the group uh, from this point forward. Let's go in there. All right. Have a good morning and weekend if I don't see you guys in the group. And thank you very much for tuning in. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, Ben. Later, Carl.